Well, greetings, folks. Bill O'Leary here. Today, on this video, I'm going to be answering the question, can life insurance affect Medicaid eligibility? So what you're going to learn in this video is, number one, how life insurance is counted as an asset for Medicaid eligibility purposes. Two, the difference in asset counting between term insurance and permanent insurance. And three, things that you can do to qualify for Medicaid, even if you have an insurance policy that might put you over the limit. Let me just quickly tell you who I am. I'm an experienced elder law and estate planning attorney here in Jacksonville, Florida. My law firm is Legacy Planning Law Group. Let me jump right into the topic at hand. You know, a lot of people have life insurance. It's a great way to ensure that your loved ones are sort of financially taken care of after you die, for sure. The problem is life insurance policies may impact Medicaid eligibility because the policy can cause you to have more assets than Medicaid lets you have. So it's important to understand, I think, some basic information about life insurance to determine whether certain policies are within the Medicaid asset limits or not. So first, let's talk about the difference between cash value and face value of an insurance policy. Permanent policies, you see, they accumulate cash value over time. And this money, it's easily accessible by the owner of the policy. They're able to borrow against the cash value. They can, they can terminate the policy and maybe collect the cash value at that time. When a life insurance policy is voluntarily terminated before it becomes payable at the policy owner's death, it's referred to as cash surrender value, and the policyholder would receive that cash value minus any sort of cancellation fee, what are called surrender charges. So then compare that to what's face value. Well, sometimes also called a death benefit. It's the amount that the insurance company will pay out to the beneficiaries that are named on the policy when the insured dies. Okay, next, it's important to know what kind of insurance we're dealing with, because not all types of insurance policies impact Medicaid eligibility in the same way. So we need to understand the difference between term insurance and permanent insurance, like whole life insurance. Term insurance provides coverage for a period of time. And if the insured, let's say, dies during the term of the policy, the death benefit is paid out to the beneficiaries. Term life insurance does not accumulate cash value, which means the policy can't be cashed out. So for this reason, term insurance is not a countable asset for Medicaid because it has no value to the policyholder. Now, contrast that with permanent life insurance. It provides coverage for the entirety of a person's life and pays out a death benefit to the beneficiaries when the policyholder passes away. Now, with permanent policies, a cash value, you see, builds up. And the policy owner, as I said, can take the cash out at any time, maybe take a loan against it, can take money out of the policy. So since policyholders can take cash from their existing a permanent policy, it's not exempt from the Medicaid asset limit. Since the cash value can be accessed by the policy owner, then Medicaid believes the money could and frankly should be used to help pay for long-term care. Now, that said, there are certain asset limits that apply to see if let's say a permanent policy is counted by Medicaid. And as I've talked about in other videos, Medicaid has a very small asset limit, $2,000. Hopefully you're sitting down for that. Now, some assets you see are not counted towards that very low asset limit. In other words, they're exempt. For example, the primary home and maybe some household items and vehicle. Here in Florida, we get to potentially keep 2 cars. But regarding life insurance, Florida Medicaid says the cash value is counted towards the asset limit if the face value exceeds $2,500. So let me give you a couple of examples. It may help to see how it plays out. So let's say we have a fellow named John. He has a whole life insurance policy, and it has a face value of $1,200 and a cash surrender value of $500. Well, the exemption amount in Florida for whole life or permanent insurance policies is that $2,500 face value. If it's under that, you're okay. So in this situation, John's life insurance policy is not counted towards his Medicaid asset limit. Now, here's another situation. Here we're talking about Claudia. She owns one policy that has a face value of $1,000 and a cash value of $300. You with me? Face value of $1,000, cash value of $300. She owns a second policy that has a face value of $2,000 and a cash value of $700. So if we combine both policies together, the combined face value of both policies is $3,000. Well, that puts Claudia over that limit of $2,500, and now the cash values in those policies is going to be counted for Medicaid, and you add up both of the cash values of the policy, comes out to $1,000. So $1,000 will be applied towards that asset limit. So hopefully those examples help. Now, if you have a permanent policy that has a death benefit that exceeds $2,500 and a cash value that perhaps combined with some other assets is going to exceed that very low $2,000 asset limit, and let's say you want to go on Medicaid, the question is, oh, okay, am I out of luck? Is there anything I can do? Well, the good news is yes, you can. You know, while some people think that maybe just letting the policy lapse by stopping premium payments is the only option, there are other commonly used planning techniques. Number one, cash out the policy. You can cancel the policy, collect the cash value, and then spend down that cash that you get until that Medicaid asset limit is met. And people often use the cash to pay for a long-term care, maybe make some home modifications to make it easier, let's say, to age in place, maybe pay medical bills and pay off debt, just some examples. Since the Medicaid applicant would no longer be the owner of the policy, you see at that point, once cashing it out, they wouldn't be able to cancel the policy for cash surrender value. Now, understand the cash from selling a life insurance policy likely is going to put that Medicaid applicant over the asset limit. So again, it's important that once cashing it out, the applicant would first need to spend down the extra assets. So that's option one, is cashing out the policy. Option two, taking out a loan against the cash value. This is going to lower the cash value while still keeping the policy in effect. So taking out a loan, number two. How about number three, transferring the policy? If a spouse of a Medicaid applicant, so here we're dealing with a couple, let's say, and that spouse does not also need Medicaid, so only one does, but the well spouse does not. The life insurance policy can be transferred to the well spouse, what's known as the community spouse. And the cash value of the policy would then count towards the community spouse's asset limit. And although the community spouse is also subject to his or her own asset limit, thankfully it's much higher than $2,000. This year, 2022, here in Florida, that amount is $137,400. Another approach is to transfer the policy, let's say, to a funeral home, maybe to pay for burial costs, a burial plan. Medicaid allows this. And if that burial plan or funeral plan cannot be canceled, if it's irrevocable, there's no limit on how much cash value you can dump into a burial plan. Now, be careful. What if instead you wanted to gift the policy to a child? That's not going to work, because that is going to be a gift that may very well trigger a Medicaid penalty. So you don't really want to do that. And here's another option. How about converting the policy to a long-term care policy, which can pay for in-home care or maybe some assisted living for a period of time before you might need to sort of graduate, if you will, to a higher level of care, skilled nursing, where then Medicaid could come in and pay for it. And last option would be selling the policy. Look, Medicaid only cares about who the owner of the policy is, not who the insured is or who the beneficiaries are. A Medicaid applicant, let's say, can have a child buy the life insurance policy at the cash surrender value. The child then can pay the premiums and then keep the policy in effect. So just some different ideas about what you can do with a life insurance policy if you're over the asset limit. So if you'd like to know a little bit more about whether life insurance affects the Medicaid eligibility and maybe how we can help, we would love to talk to you. So we invite you to take a very easy first step to book a free 15-minute phone call. It's what we call our discovery call, and it's a chance for you to tell us what's on your mind and basically for us to start a conversation. And scheduling the call could not be any easier. Just go to the bottom of this video and click on the scheduling link. It's right there. And it's going to take you straight to our booking calendar. Just pick a day and time that works for you, and we'll jump on the call. If you want some more information about other topics that relates to elder law, estate planning, maybe probate, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel, Legacy Planning Law Group. And if you've enjoyed this video, please like it, and better yet, share it with your friends. So this is Bill O'Leary signing off for now, and go make it a great day and make it a better world.